Mercury was Ford's mid-tier division, intended to sit between mainstream Ford and luxurious Lincoln. Sadly, this brand is no more, as it bid goodbye to the world in 2011. One of their hits during the 50s and 60s was the Monterey range of full-sized automobiles. Named after Monterey Bay, the lineup included coupes, convertibles, hardtops, sedans, and station wagons. Today, we've got a classic 1951 Mercury Monterey Coupe with over 61,000 miles reported to its name and the original owner's manual included with the sale. It's a great classic car for those who want to sample 50s motoring, as well as preserve a piece of American automotive heritage. The rise of Mercury and the Monterey legacy. To understand the importance of the Monterey, one has to appreciate the positioning of the Mercury brand within Ford Motor Company's hierarchy. Ford itself was the mass-market option. Lincoln carried the flag of prestige, and Mercury occupied the aspirational middle ground. It was meant for buyers who wanted more flair and luxury than a standard Ford but weren't ready to step into Lincoln's price bracket. This positioning was especially relevant in the booming post-war American market, where consumers craved style, status, and individuality. Introduced in 1950, the Monterey nameplate initially began as a premium trim level on Mercury's lineup before evolving into a distinct model line. The Monterey Coupe of 1951 represented the early years of this experiment, embodying both Mercury's pursuit of style and the era's fascination with streamlined shapes, chrome-laden ornamentation, and generous proportions. Buyers wanted cars that not only transported them but also projected prosperity and optimism, two qualities America celebrated after the austerity of World War II to exterior design, where style met substance. This yellow 1951 Mercury Monterey Coupe is more than just a car. It is a design statement. With custom pinstriping by Von Dutch, the legendary artist who later became a cultural icon of hot rodding and custom culture. This Monterey carries a touch of artistic rebellion layered over factory styling. In its day, pinstriping was the visual language of individuality, and Von Dutch's hand elevated this Monterey beyond the showroom floor into the realm of rolling artwork. The 50s were a time when cars wore chrome like jewelry, and this Monterey does not disappoint. Rechromed parts restore the luster of its heyday, giving it a sparkle under sunlight that commands attention at car shows or Sunday cruises. The Monterey's styling features fared in rear wheels that create a sleek, almost aerodynamic stance. This was part of the lead sled aesthetic Mercury became famous for: cars that looked as though they were gliding forward even when standing still. One of the Monterey's most recognizable features is its externally mounted spare wheel and cover, a nod to practicality fused with mid-century design language. It was the era of flamboyant touches, where even functional elements became decorative. Chrome spot mirrors with integrated spotlights add another layer of vintage flair, offering both utility and drama. At night, when those auxiliary lamps shine, they transform the Mercury from a stately coupe into something that feels ready for adventure. Color plays a crucial role too. The yellow paint on this example isn't just eye-catching. It embodies the optimism of the 1950s. In a decade defined by economic growth, suburban expansion, and consumer confidence, bold colors became popular. Yellow was bright, confident, and cheerful, exactly the kind of statement a Monterey Coupe owner would want to make while pulling up to a drive-in diner or a Saturday night dance. Interior comfort meets character. Step inside this 1951 Mercury Monterey Coupe, and you're greeted by a light gray interior that perfectly complements the vibrant exterior. The materials, design, and proportions reflect the American philosophy of comfort above all else. Bench seating offers roominess, allowing 3 passengers to sit across the front and rear, a far cry from the bolstered, individualized seats of modern cars. This communal seating arrangement emphasized family, friendship, and togetherness, key values of the period. The dashboard layout retains its vintage charm with an AM radio taking center stage. In the early 50s, car radios were still considered luxuries, bringing news, music, and entertainment into the cabin in real time. Imagine cruising down Route 66 while listening to the crackling voice of a radio DJ spinning the latest rock and roll hits. It was nothing short of revolutionary. The Monterey also features a tachometer with a shift light mounted on the steering column, a touch that adds a sporty edge to its otherwise stately demeanor. It's an unusual feature for a full-sized car of this era, bridging the gap between boulevard cruiser and performance-minded machine. Perhaps the most surprising element is the presence of functional air conditioning. While not factory original, this aftermarket upgrade dramatically enhances the car's usability. Air conditioning was a rarity in the early 50s, reserved for only the most luxurious automobiles. So having it in a Monterey means this car is not only stylish but practical for modern-day enjoyment. Instead of being confined to garage storage during sweltering summers, the car becomes a year-round driver. It's one of those sympathetic modifications that classic car purists can accept, as it ensures the preservation and active enjoyment of the vehicle, engine, and performance, the Flathead heart. Under the hood of the 1951 Mercury Monterey Coupe lies the 255 cubic inch Flathead V8, one of Ford Motor Company's most celebrated engines. By 1951, the Flathead V8 had already become a cultural phenomenon. First introduced in 1932, it was America's first affordable V8 and a favorite among hot rodders, racers, and everyday drivers alike. Its simple design, reliability, and distinctive burble cemented it as an icon. Paired with an automatic transmission and rear-wheel drive, this Monterey was built for effortless cruising. While its horsepower figures may seem modest by today's standards, the engine delivered ample low-end torque, which made city driving smooth and highway travel relaxed. The Flathead wasn't about outright speed, it was about character. Few sounds in the automotive world are as evocative as a Flathead V8 idling at a stoplight. This particular car benefits from a new battery, ensuring reliable starts and consistent performance. For classic car enthusiasts, knowing that the electrical system has been refreshed is a reassuring detail. It means fewer headaches and more enjoyment behind the wheel. After all, the point of owning a car like this isn't just to look at it, it's to drive it, share it, and experience a piece of automotive history in motion. Driving experience behind the wheel of a 51 Monterey. Sliding behind the wheel of this Mercury is like stepping back into 1951. The large steering wheel, the view over the long hood, and the soft suspension all remind you that this was a different era of motoring. Cars weren't built for sharp cornering or lightning-fast acceleration. They were built for comfort, presence, and long-distance cruising. On the road, the Monterey glides rather than darts. The ride is soft, absorbing bumps with a sense of dignity. The Flathead V8 hums contentedly, providing just enough power to keep up with modern traffic while reminding you of its mechanical roots. You don't just hear the engine, you feel it, a subtle vibration that connects driver and machine in a way digital dashboards never could. Visibility from inside the car is excellent, thanks to thin roof pillars and expansive glass. This openness enhances the sense of occasion when driving, especially compared to today's cocoon-like cabins. With the windows down and the radio playing, it's easy to imagine the Monterey as it was meant to be enjoyed. Top button shirt undone, a breeze flowing through, and the open road ahead. And then there's the social factor. Classic cars like the Monterey are rolling conversation starters. Park it anywhere and people will stop to admire it. Some will reminisce about owning one in their youth, while others will marvel at seeing such a pristine example of mid-century motoring. Once you experience that kind of appreciation from strangers, you'll find excuses to drive it more often. The Monterey's place in history, the 1951 Monterey represents more than just Mercury's lineup. It's a slice of Americana. This was the year when Harry Truman was president, when television was becoming a household staple, and when the American dream was in full swing. Cars like the Monterey were physical manifestations of prosperity. They embodied optimism, individuality, and the sense that the future was limitless in automotive history. Mercury played a unique role. It bridged the gap between the mainstream and the elite, offering ordinary families a taste of luxury without completely breaking the bank. The Monterey line, in particular, became a canvas for customizers in later decades, spawning the lead sled culture that defined post-war hot rodding. Lowered suspensions, chopped roofs, Frenched headlights. Mercurys were the blank slate upon which custom culture flourished. Owning a 1951 Monterey today is like owning a time capsule. It's not just about steel and chrome. It's about preserving the dreams and aspirations of an era when the car was king. Collectability and value. Classic car collectors place high value on originality, condition, and provenance. This Monterey Coupe checks many of those boxes. With just over 61,000 miles reported, it has clearly lived a careful life. The inclusion of the original owner's manual adds a layer of authenticity that collectors treasure. Details like these separate a nice old car from a true collectible. The Von Dutch pinstriping is another fascinating aspect. While some purists may prefer an untouched original, others will see the artistry as a historical artifact in itself. Von Dutch wasn't just an artist. He was a symbol of the counterculture movement that redefined what cars could represent. Having his touch on this Monterey elevates its uniqueness. From an investment standpoint, cars like the Monterey aren't just about financial appreciation. They are cultural artifacts. Values may rise and fall, but the enjoyment and prestige of owning one remain constant. For those who buy with their hearts as much as their wallets, a Monterey Coupe offers an abundance of both. Preserving heritage through driving. Perhaps the most compelling reason to own and cherish a car like this 1951 Mercury Monterey Coupe is the role it plays in keeping history alive. Museums are important, but static displays can't capture the soul of a car. It's only when the Flathead V8 roars to life, when the chrome glistens under sunlight, and when the car rolls down the street that history truly breathes again. Cars are meant to move, to be experienced, to be shared. Every time this Monterey is taken out for a drive, it reconnects people with a pivotal era of automotive design and culture. It reminds us of where we've been, and it offers perspective on how far we've come. The 1951 Mercury Monterey Coupe is more than just a car. It is a time machine, a cultural artifact, and a testament to the artistry of mid-century American automotive design. From its Von Dutch pinstriping and chromed flourishes to its Flathead V8 heartbeat, it embodies the optimism, individuality, and craftsmanship of its time. With its low mileage, carefully preserved details, and sympathetic upgrades like air conditioning, this Monterey stands as both a collectible and a usable classic. For those who seek to own not just a machine but a story of post-war prosperity, of automotive creativity, and of enduring style, the 1951 Monterey Coupe delivers in every way. It is, quite simply, a rolling piece of history waiting for its next chapter.